Turbine guy coming back at you from my hotel in Blacksville, Georgia. Yep, I'm not making it up. Actual town called Blacksville. I'm at one of the Wyndham resorts, cheaper ones. Anyways, I thought I would stop by today or have this live stream and we could do a quick update on what we know is going on. Hold on, where's the picture? There's a picture. There we go. How is Pine Island coping after Ian? Now, it's funny you might say that I'm doing this video from Georgia, a little bit out of Atlanta, but I'm on my second day down, third day of this process. Going to get out onto Pine Island, going to start working, fixing up my house. And the nice thing about my house is the power's on. I got battery bank, I got solar power. Now I got some older solar modules, so I'm going to replace those. I've got 8 modules coming with to replace. I got plywood for the roof. I got shingles. I got all that. We saw all that stuff in the previous videos. What about today? Well, other than the fact that I had to climb over the thing in and out of my truck on the passenger side over and over and over again, because that door handle was busted yesterday and will be for the rest of this trip most likely. We found out many things about what's going on. This is, of course, Matt Lachey with Pine Island, and no, that's not the one we want. My house, right there. See the solar system up there? Solar hot water, that made it through just fine. I have a solar attic fan, that made it. That's still up and running. Bunch of shingles are off. That's what we're going down there to repair. But the big question is, how are you going to get on the island? Got a lot of people asking me that and saying, oh, you can't get out there. But Turbine Guy's got a plan. I got a boat, 1999 Sylvan deck boat with a 150 Evinrude on it. But that thing ain't starting right now. The starter's got an issue. So I might have to stop at the store on the way down from where I am to Florida tomorrow and pick it up. In fact, I'm right by a Walmart up here, and I'm going to go to that Walmart and I'm going to pick up some extra grocery supplies and other stuff. So I figure I might as well get all that kind of stuff up here in Georgia, right? So anyways, how am I going to get on? Especially since my boat ain't necessarily working. Well, we got a buddy, Shane, and he's got his boat, but he ain't got no gas because he used all his gas for the generator, and it was probably mixed. So I bet that generator's a little dirty inside. But I got fuel. I'm bringing 50 gallons extra of fuel down. So if I got to fill up one of his cans so he can get me back and forth a couple of times, I'm on top of that. Now, from what I understand, gas is coming around. I listened to a guy talk about being in line for 9 hours a couple of days ago for gas down in Fort Myers. Now, Shane told me it's like 2.5 to 3 hours, so it's getting better. Maybe by the time I'm down there, most of them will have gas. It won't be such a big deal anymore. I got mine on the cheap, though. Cheapest gas I got on this trip, I drove right by 279 because I had just filled it up at 299. And I did 297 today, I think 297. And believe it or not, I saw a gas station that was 234, but it would have been a half hour out of my way. $2.34. Kind of tells you something. Either someone's trying to give it away or whatever. So anyways, we're going to get down there. I plan on being probably around Tampa. It depends on where the hotels are available tomorrow. And then Tuesday, making my way out to the island. So we're getting this organized. We're going to bring everything we can out in a couple of trips. Now, if you remember, I got another pickup out there. So we're going to go out there and deal with that. But how do you get to the island otherwise? And, if people want to chime in and ask questions, or if they know something, let me know. But how are you going to get out to the island otherwise? Well, from what I understand, DJ's Tackle is running a boat from the Yucatan on the one side of Little Pine Island, by Matt Lachey, around to get you over around the damage. So they're ferrying people back and forth that you can bring a bag. And they're using barges right now to bring all the heavy equipment up. But the big announcement is that they're thinking maybe by the 8th or Sunday, they'll be able to have a bridge in place. Temporary bridge. And temporary bridge means you get to go back and forth. Now, of course, they're backtracking, saying, oh, only emergency stuff first. Don't the residents think they're going to get to drive on it? Of course, what are the residents going to want to do? Drive on it. So, going to see what happens. We'll be out there. My son is flying down. We're not quite sure when or where. Hopefully I'll be able to get him on the way maybe tomorrow or maybe Tuesday morning, whatever. And then we're going to get out there. We're going to be doing a bunch of videos. We'll be doing a bunch of other stuff for people to, so that they can see kind of the devastation. But not just the devastation. I want to go out there and I want to show people that solar power works, that battery banks work. They do. I know that because mine's up and running right now. I can't wait to get down there and turn all my lights on because I get to. And a lot of people are doing that if they have the fuel. Now about fuel on Pine Island, I also heard, wish I could get out of the screen. Let's go this way. I also heard that, I'm going to share this on the local Facebook pages quick. Get shareable link. I also heard that there's a marina on the south end of the island, Pine Island, that is currently, if you can bring your gas can up there with your name on the side of it and leave it, they're getting gas back and forth. They'll go fill it up for you, and they'll bring the gas back so you can run your generator for a while. I'm going to post this. Live Pine Island discussion. Oh, geez. Now, of course, the capitals are backwards. I'll get this right. There we go. I'm going to post it. Like this. I'll post it to the Pine Island pages. Maybe we'll get a few people on. And that's kind of the goal of it tonight. 4:20. That's kind of the goal tonight, is to get information out to people. And people out there tend to know more than I do. And that's where I'm getting my information, is from people who are out there. Let me share this one around. Share new group. Oh, Pine Island. And if we get enough interest, we can keep this going for a while. But, I'd like to have an actual discussion deal. There you go. See if anyone wants to join in. And that's a nice thing about this, is we can read through the comments and see from people on the island what's really going on. What's really going on Pine Island, huh? One more. I want to go to Prospect too. Pine Island, Prospect. I get it. There it is. Two. There's a bunch of Facebook pages just like everywhere. Hey, we're all shared around here. All shared around, ready to go. So hopefully we'll get some discussion on here. Now, here, I'll go back to, so we can watch it live. There we go. Here's my live dashboard. I get to see how many people come on, the minutes, the views, the comments. Hey, Patrick Lewis. Hey, Pikachu. How y'all doing tonight? Got any questions or input? Help. Now, something a lot of people don't know. Because, I've read story after story, and you may have too, that they might have to evacuate Pine Island. They might have to clear it all out. And you don't know how difficult that's going to be, especially for someone like me or my neighbors who wouldn't even leave during the hurricanes. Bubba stayed down there for both hurricanes, Hurricane Charlie in 2004 and Hurricane Ian now. It's dark on Pine Island unless you have solar generator. There you go. And that's what we have. So anyways, he stayed through. Now, I'm going to work to get an interview with him so we can sit down with him and go through what it was really like between the two hurricanes. But you know what he told me today? They're thinking they're going to be kicking people off. I heard stories they might have to evacuate. Well, we just talked about they got the temporary road going in, and maybe by Sunday. Yeah, there you go, Patrick. I completely agree. Let's spend that money here. I said that. I'll tell you Bubba's thing in a second. Said that in a comment. In World War II, the Germans could rebuild bridges every single night across rivers, not just one, but numerous bridges, so that they could use them at night until the Allies bombed them the next day. What the heck is with Florida? You don't know hurricanes come? You don't know you have islands with bridges everywhere? Why isn't Florida prepared? Look, the military wants to give their surplus gear to the police departments. How about giving some surplus floating equipment to the state of Florida? So when this happens, boom, it's all in one centralized location. You get it out on site and you can get to people. And there's none of this stuff going on that we are now, government scratching its head. I read another comment that might have been pretty well true too, where if the Corps of Engineers was here, the Army Corps of Engineers, they could have had that road fixed up out to Pine Island within a day, which I completely believe. But you leave it to civilian government, who knows what happened. Hey, by the way, give me thumbs up if you're sitting out there. I could use a few. Absolutely. So, Bubba told me today that they're running the water for about 3 hours a day now. So everyone can clean up, shower, do your laundry quick or whatever. They obviously don't have enough fuel or energy, I guess, in order to keep it going all the time. But every day now, they're running water for 3 hours a day. Do you think they'd be running the water 3 hours a day if they're going to evacuate Pine Island? I don't think so. And I did hear Governor DeSantis say, was it just, no, it wasn't him, it was Rubio. Ricky Rubio saying on the radio today that these places are going to be rebuilt, they're going to recover. And I'm sure he's not just talking about Sanibel, because doggone well Sanibel's going to get rebuilt. But Pine Island too. And Pine Island's going to get rebuilt because of people like you and me who are going to rebuild it for ourselves, who are going to prepare and move on. Politics coming in. Well, you never know who to believe more these days. I certainly don't believe our government. I don't believe theirs. I don't believe any government. I believe me and you, like I just said. So anyone from Pine Island, I shared it on the Facebook pages. You're tuning in. You know anything that's going on? You heard any scuttlebutt? You want to put anything out? Please make comments on here so we can talk about them. I'd love to do that for a little bit. I think we need to start getting a public forum because, a lot of the scuttlebutt I get is from a lot of different sources. Now about the Turbine guy's house. Should I pull that up again? What's that one? There we go. Turbine guy's house. There we go. Aim you down just a tad. There you go. See, we got some cleanup to do. The vehicles made it. Bunch of shingle damage. Lost some hurricane shutters. I found out these didn't get put on, so Turbine guy wasn't the happiest guy in the world when he found that out. No, he was not. So anyways, the solar hot water is up. That's ready to go and running. The solar attic fan, the solar power. Ready to go. We just got to clean it up. I want to get these shingles fixed. This door did blow up one on us. We lost a storm door. And then we lost a storm door on this one down here. And then this door blew open. And from what I understand now, yeah, lots of work. No, there'll be plenty of people because the people who are going to come down and fix it are the people who work. When I was driving down, I saw a lot of crazy things. It was a really interesting drive, just getting to northern Georgia here. I thought I'd be a lot further south by now. I thought I'd be ready to go on Pine Island tomorrow. But today, well, let's say yesterday first, flat tire, doorknob or handles broken, both inside and out in the driver door, and my gas cap busted. Kind of slowed me up. But today, I could not believe the traffic I ran into. I'm thinking I'm driving down Saturday and Sunday, right? Saturday and Sunday, no big deal. Not a lot of traffic. It was fine until we hit Nashville, and there wasn't even an NFL game in there. The Titans were playing up in Indianapolis. So they were up there playing, and I'm like, no big deal. We get to the other side of Nashville. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. It took like 45 minutes to get through this traffic jam, and there's nothing there. I'm like, okay, fine, we get through it, no big deal. And then coming into Chattanooga, again. Ooh, Southeast Kentucky. Well, hey, maybe I could stop by on the way back, huh? So anyways, traffic jam after traffic jam after traffic jam. And I'm thinking, you know what? I do not want to be in Atlanta during rush hour because I've done that more than once before. Never fun. Never. Always plan. Sunday afternoon, right? Breeze right through. Sure thing. Right through Atlanta. Now, getting into Atlanta and out of Atlanta, that's a whole different story. Completely. Whole different story completely. Oh, look, we got those things. So, I finally had to give it up. Last night I was driving till 9. Tonight I wanted to get in. I got to go get something to eat after we're done here. It depends. I get enough people want to keep conversing. I don't have any comments yet. I'm looking people on Pine Island, Cape Coral, Naples, anywhere around there. Anyone who knows what's going on, please comment so you can help. But anyways, I got here to the hotel tonight. And you know what's not a good sign? The first thing you see when you get to a hotel? Well, other than the hotel being dilapidated. But it's a Baymont. It's pretty nice. Room's clean. You know what's a good sign? Not a good sign. Mattresses outside. That's a good guess. That was not the issue, though. 3 cop cars near the back of the hotel. The cops out there conversing. I'm like, oh boy, where'd I stay? Yeah, 3 cop cars. So one of the cops kind of went around and went in and talked inside. Okay, Pikachu, I'll check. Check right now. So I'm sitting there thinking, what the heck? And I got in and I asked the lady, and there was another lady checking in, and I asked them both. And, oh no, that was the other hotel. And it happened to get over the fence, she said. I'm like, really? So it's just next door. We're on the other side, and I got my truck parked, hopefully where all my stuff and back will be safe. I shouldn't tell anybody. I got a bunch of fuel and other stuff, So, let's see, Facebook message. No, Adam Rich says hi. Anyways, I don't really see anybody commenting or questions or what's going on. Yeah, I didn't see your messenger, Pikachu. Anyways, I was hoping I'd get a few people from Pine Island on here. Sanibel, not that you're on Sanibel. From there, Cape Coral, Matlacha, wherever. Start running some comments here and let's start talking about it. Now, when I get on the island, I got a truck out there that's mostly full of gas, and I got plenty of fuel and all that. So I'm going to be up and down the island, and I've got a bunch of requests for people who want to know how their houses and stuff are. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to probably do a bunch of videos, I'd say. For everybody who wants me to go look at their house, I'm going to do a video and I'm going to post it on YouTube so everybody can see the destruction that this hurricane brought to our community. Absolutely. And, and if you want me to, message me, comment in the comments, whatever. I'm actually on Pine Mountain off Little Shepherd's Trail. That's not quite Pine Island. Pine Mountain. Oh, there we go. Just got confirmed flying into Tampa Tuesday, so I'll be picking my son up. Tampa Airport somewhere just before lunchtime. And we're going to be heading down, and we'll have our boats ready about 2 or 3 o'clock to take us over. That's the plan. Turbine guy is going to get over there. I'm going to film it all. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to have you see the devastation for yourself. I really am. Now, Kaler played a little bit of a game. Yeah. They had tickets going into the Fort Myers Airport, RSW, for Tuesday. And we'd heard the airport wasn't going to be open till Friday, I think. And so we bought the ticket anyways. Well, he's able to take that ticket and transfer it to Tampa Bay, which they're flying into. I think RSW is opening Wednesday. I think I was told that today. RSW is opening Wednesday. People looking to fly into or out of Fort Myers, Wednesday's the day. Punta Gorda, Allegiant flies into there. That opens, I believe, Friday. That's going to start. Yeah, I'll check. I looked for your message. I didn't see it there. I'll look again. Oh, there you go. I will consider it. Let me think about it afterwards. I'm pretty tired tonight. Okay, there we go. Wednesday, limited operations into and out of RSW. Now, the airport's been open for emergency stuff, and so is Punta Gorda. And so is Punta Gorda. So, you never know. You never know. Like I said, they got water going on Pine Island. You can bring your gas cans up to St. James City to the marina with your name on it. And they'll fill it up when they can and get it back to you. There we go. Our neighbor on Pine Island in Bokeelia. Okay, hold on. I'm going to read it up here where I can read it better. In Bokeelia, east side across island from Pineland, said it was really horrible and no help. North End looked amazingly unscathed in a video. Well, you got to remember, the north end, the south end of the island would have had all the flood surge. I'm not sure how bad the north was, because that's the way the wind was coming forever. It was out of the south. And then the north end was what was just devastated when Hurricane Charlie came through in 2004. Now, our house has made both of those hurricanes, Charlie and Ian, with the eye of each hurricane going over ours. And do you know how I know? No, I'm not in Minnesota. I am in Georgia, northern Georgia, headed down. Do you know how I specifically know the eye of the hurricane went over our house? Because Bubba said he was outside during the eye of the hurricane. It was windy, 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 and then it was only kind of windy. And that's when he saw my door was open on the house, and he ran over and shut it for us. Now, from what I understand, well, category 2, we've got an opinion there. I guess I got 40 plus home checks to do. Turbine guy's going to be a busy guy. That's okay, though. Let's consider this a public service that nobody knew could exist. And I've created it. Maybe I should be charging people. Maybe I should go to disaster to disaster to disaster, find my way around, and do this. That's an interesting business plan. Interesting. Okay, now, if any of you on here have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Hit the subscribe button. And please hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Very helpful. No, my wife is up in Minnesota. We were all up there. As far as I know, Bubba was the only... Well, Bubba was foolish enough. Then we had some buddies a couple of streets over up on the end. Former Marine Joey. He was up there. I actually did a live interview with him before the hurricane really hit. So you can hear that in the live stream I did the day the morning the hurricane was coming through. No, I haven't heard much about any more storms. I've heard potential, but they're all about potential. You know what I mean? They're all about potential on the Weather Channel. So here's what's crazy between the similarities. No, there's someone charging for home checks with photos. There you go. Someone's already on the job. That's a Pine Islander who withstood the goings on, most likely, trying to make a living. Interesting. Well, just send to the Turbine guy. Then what's going to happen is you're going to get to be on YouTube. At least your house is going to get to be. Maybe you fix it up. We do another YouTube later and talk about it. But anyways, the similarities about Hurricane Charlie and Hurricane Ian. I'm pretty positive Hurricane Charlie winds were higher. Definitely higher than Ian. I wasn't there for either. I just saw the destruction kind of stuff in photos. And after Charlie, if the tree did not belong in Florida, it was on the ground. If the tree was native, it lost its branches. Well, a lot of the palms didn't lose their branches. A lot of the other trees didn't that are native. So that's a little bit of a clue that the wind was higher for Charlie. Now, we lost more shingles this time. Our issue last time was picking neighbor shingles out from under ours, but our roof is 20 years older. Except under the solar, right under the solar there, the roof was just fine. So that's good news. But the big crazy thing is both Charlie and Ian were predicted to go up kind of Sarasota, Tampa Bay way. Tampa Bay, Sarasota, right turn Clyde, right over Pine Island, Cayo Costa, Sanibel, and into the North Bay area. Because this really didn't even go over Fort Myers, the worst part of it. The worst part of it went north of that. So, yes, mango trees belong there. I believe the Lakeys like however you pronounce that, they do too. You can tell because they're the ones who drop their branches. They'll drop their branches, they'll keep it, and they'll start over. See, the problem is the trees that don't belong in Florida typically need huge root ball systems to support how big they get. Okay? They need these huge root balls. But in Florida, they don't grow them because the water table is so high. These things always have the moisture in the water, so they just grow like crazy. They don't have the huge root structure. The wind comes and over they go. That's why it's important to have indigenous species in your area. Well, anyone else from Pine Island on here? Type in and say hi if you are, please. Numero uno. Practice my Spanish here. So, you may not have heard at the beginning. I am actually in a town called Blacksville, Georgia. And when I typed it in, Blacksville, when I saw I was getting near it on the map, there's actually a bunch of them in the country. Interesting name. My question is, how did it get the name? Where was the original Blacksville and why? I bet there's a lot of tremendous history behind this name that is worth investigating for knowledge. Yeah, so our big issue, we lost all our fruit trees and all that outside. We got the shingle issues. Let me show you that again. We got that down here somewhere. Hold on, we got Facebook. No, I'm approved in Pine Island too. Let's see. When was that? 16 minutes ago. Hey, Pine Islanders. No, I'm a Pine Islander. We've had our house since 2004. My wife's grandma moved there when she felt that Sanibel was getting too crowded. She lived out there before they had bridges to Sanibel. And she moved to Pine Island. And when my wife and I first met up and hooked up, we came down here on vacation, and we visited their little stilt house. Now I gotta go by that house because when Charlie came through, it had a tree fall on it. It had some other stuff, and he had these big ponderosa lemon trees in the backyard that were super cool, and they had issues. And well, they came after. I wonder if they're going to do this again. They came through after Hurricane Charlie, and they ripped up all the fruit trees to protect the fruit industry because they didn't want any citrus canker. And they gave everyone like $100 gift certificate to Lowe's or whatever to get a new tree, which is not nearly the same thing. Wonder if they're going to do that again. I bet you something like that's in the works for sure. Bet you it is. So it's going to be interesting. Supposedly we've got a drone, so we can do a bunch of overhead footage. That's going to be super cool. It's always nice to get the bird's eye view. I cannot wait to get down to my house and stand on top of my house and look around. So we got a stilt house, so I'll be 2.5 stories up, and there aren't any high houses like ours around. Maybe up at the end of the street a ways. So we'll be able to see a bunch. And I'm going to show everybody what the devastation is. Now the issue is there's no cell service or any of that out there. The only way I can talk to these people or anyone is we're either going up to the library or the post office or the fire station where they can get it. So there must be some government satellite service going on where they can go right up near it and allow everybody, just access to it so that they can make phone calls. Because I've had so many requests from people, hey, can you check on my relative or my friend or this or that or everything else? Yeah, but it's got to be a satellite hotspot because there isn't regular stuff out there right now. That's all gone. All gone. I heard there might be issues, my daughter said, for food for the cats and dogs. So I got a bag of cat food and a bag of dog food I brought with. A little bit extra to help. I got a couple other ideas, and you know what? The Turbine guy's been gifted a outdoor camera, solar powered. I'm going to install that under the eave of this house. So if something else comes through, who knows, whatever year, we can live stream it because it should be a satellite feed. Live stream it as long as it will anyway. So I think I'm going to install that down here. Anyways, been a long trip already. Just 2 days into it. Problems yesterday with the vehicle. Problems with traffic today. Got a Walmart up the street and a Lowe's. I might pick up a few more things even though I don't really have much more room in my truck. My load's running fine. That's a big thing. I got 8 solar panels in there because I got to replace 16 old ones. I just want to upgrade and make sure it's going to work. There you go. Elon Musk donating Starlink service. And I saw that Governor DeSantis, I read an article that he was talking to Elon Musk to donate to Starlink. Now, I'm sure they're doing that for all the local stations, but how do other people get a hold of it or get to use it? That's a real question. Let me have one more beer. That's okay with y'all. A long, frustrating drive today with all that traffic. I'm wondering, is that just a bunch of people headed back to Florida? We evacuated, went somewhere else, or we're up north for the summer and want to get down and make sure their stuff's okay, check on their stuff, clean it out. Now, I heard from my wife that a big issue down there is flat tires. People are picking all kinds of debris up on the road and having flat tires everywhere. And Uber was going to operate but had to shut down because of the flat tires. How's that for crazy? Something you wouldn't think of, but actually makes a lot of sense. So we're the street sweepers now, right? But Turbine Guy's hoping that by the time I get down there, enough people drove by and picked up all the nails so I don't have to worry about it. I already have my flat tire issue on this trip. Jeez. It's enough of that. What time we got? 8:51. It's actually 9:51. Almost 10. They close next door. I was gonna go out to there you go. What else again? I was gonna go out to Applebee's, get myself something to eat. Haven't eaten much today. Figure, of course, drink a beer before you go, right? Save the money. Gas wise, I'm doing okay. I got a station, well, 50 miles away. I think it's $2.71 a gallon. Top her off, much as I can at that. Like I said, I saw a station today at $2.34 a gallon. Wonder what it's going for down in Fort Myers. I'll have to ask Shane. I'll have to text him and ask how much he paid. Are they charging you more just because they have it, or are they just giving it to you at regular price? I believe it was around 320 something, 330 something a gallon down there beforehand. Okay, well, that's pretty much my update. I'll run through everything else quick. If we don't get any comments, I'm going to shut her down for tonight. And then head down to Tampa or so tomorrow. Kayla's flying, not necessarily Tampa. I don't know where though. I got to find a cheap hotel near Tampa. Maybe so many hours away. But that'll give me time to finish stocking up today. I got a few requests from the neighbors, important things, and then I keep thinking of a few things like, you know what? I should get a bunch of boxes of deck screws. Can't hurt. Excuse me. A bunch of boxes of deck screws. There's a Lowe's right up here, so why not? Load up and go. The more I can think of, the more I can fit in the bed. I tell you though, my truck's been heavy. Whew. The shingles and everything else in back. I'm probably hauling 2,500 pounds in my 3/4 ton. That's okay though. She's doing. She's getting almost 14 miles to the gallon. She's actually pretty decent for that thing. But I haven't been pushing it too hard either. You know, it's only got 284,000 miles on it. It's almost broke in. As soon as I get to 300, I think we'll be comfortable. That'll be soon enough. Whoever would have thought they'd drive one vehicle that many miles? Crazy. Okay, so the updates. We'll do a quick finishing update. Pine Islanders are getting water 2 to 3 hours a day now, so that they can shower and that they can do their laundry or whatever they need to do. So we got some sanitary business going on. And for much of Pine Island, like our house and our neighbors, we have septic systems, so it ain't no big deal. Oh no, something I didn't tell you. My neighbor Bubba said, no problem flushing toilets, my pool water is full. So his outdoor above ground pool, full of water, go grab some buckets. Even if the water's not running, you're A-okay. Well, you figure out how to get through, right? So water a couple hours a day. If you need fuel, you go to the south end of the island, I believe right by York there, York Street. There's Marina that'll take your gas cans and fill them up and let you know when they're ready. Come back and get them, and you can run your generator. Power what you need to. People need to come over to my house over on Judith. I'm not there yet. Bubba, if you see Bubba around outside, you need to plug stuff in. We got power you can plug in. The road is supposedly, temporary road's going to be built by Sunday, supposedly. The 8th. But it doesn't mean we're going to get to drive over it. And I've heard there's potential ferry service by Monday. Just what I heard. Who knows? Vehicle ferry. Now, DJ's Custom Rod and Tackle is transporting people from the Yucatan, the docks there, over to Cape Coral side, getting around the business there. So you can get back and forth, you can bring a bag. At least you can get around. Like, let's say Kaylor got a ride in and then I had to get him on Pine Island. I don't have to figure a way to get off. They'll get him from there to there. So that's good news too. Now, something I did see in the news is they're real adamant about separating your waste. Any like household debris that's going on the curb needs to be one pile, vegetative debris in another pile, and that kind of thing. But I don't think Pine Island's got to worry about that for a little bit. You got to worry about keeping it stocked up and out of the way until they figure out how to get a garbage truck to the island. It's a big island. It takes a lot of garbage trucks to clear that island. That's for sure. Can't think of much else. Tuesday afternoon, the Turbine guy is planning on heading over from Bird Store Road to Jug Creek Marina. Get on. I see we got people watching. If you just jumped on, you're from Pine Island, Cape Coral, Sanibel, anywhere around, please comment, let us know. Or if you know anything about anything, let us know, please. Yeah, NASA launches debris into the ocean. So the carrier I was on, all our garbage went off the back. I couldn't have saved it if I wanted to. They probably would have put me in the brig. No, there's a lot of debris on the carrier. So, anyways, I don't know. I hear the gas lines have gone from 6 to 7 hours to 2 to 3 hours in Fort Myers. So it's getting better that way. If you're on here and you haven't yet, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. Look at this. All of a sudden I'm getting people. I wanted to shut her down so I could go eat. Look, I want people on here who can comment. Let me know what's going on Pine Island. Do we have anybody? I'm waiting while I'm drinking. It's a long drive today. Oh, there we go. Good night, I'm told. The boss says I should go. It's so much fun sometimes, though. Just discussing this stuff. You know, this whole trip's going to be fun. I'm calling it Chasing Ian. Yeah, I'm calling it Chasing Ian. And my wife questioned me, but that's really what I'm doing. Because I'm chasing around to see what Ian did. I'm chasing around so y'all can see it too. So that's the hope. Stay tuned. Plenty more in the series. I'll be doing an update every day. You'll be on me with the boat going out to the island. You'll be on me you'll be with me when I first get to my house and see what's going on. You'll be with me when I'm on the roof looking at the damage. And you'll be with me when I'm traversing Pine Island, showing everybody the destruction Hurricane Ian brought to our community. Turbine Guy, signing off.